All right, it's time to get started. We welcome you for the first school board meeting of the year 2025. And we're so glad to have you tonight. This time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And as we begin, let's start with a moment of silence. Thank you very much. If you're able to stand as we say the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I will please note that all board members and our student board members are present here tonight. And that brings us to item C, to adopt the agenda. If I could have a motion, please.
I move to adopt the agenda.
Ms. Davis made the motion to adopt the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hart seconded. All in favor, let me know by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The agenda is adopted. And item 2 is communications, and item A is recognitions.
So if you're all ready, we'll
Yes, sir.
go ahead and get started. So our first recognition tonight is the Garrard County Schools Danville Office Equipment Staff Member of the Month for January 2025, and it's Ms. Megan Simpson from Garrard Middle School. She may not be with us.
Not with us.
We appreciate Danville Office Equipment being here and supporting this each month. Our next one is the Garrard County Schools Whitaker Bank Teacher of the Month for January. It's Miss Ashley House from Garrard Middle School. Ms. House is one of the wonderful teachers in GMS. She's dependable, reliable, reflective, and very much a superstar within GMS. She has a great attitude towards her students and an impressive work ethic. Not only does she teach 7th grade ELA, but she also serves as the team lead for the 7th grade Yellow Team. We're so thankful she calls GMS home, and she's recently reached a proud milestone of becoming a Mimi a few weeks ago, which is another role in which she'll undoubtedly excel. So congratulations. And our Garrard County Schools and Farmers National Bank Students of the Month for January 2025. Our first student of the month is from CDR, and it's Farrah Lewis. Farrah is a kindergartner at CDR, and she was selected for Student of the Month because of her exceptional behavior, kindness, and strong work ethic. She consistently demonstrates a positive attitude, always helping and supporting her classmates. Her willingness to be a great friend and lend a hand whenever needed makes her an excellent leader in her class. Whether it's completing assignments or participating in group activities, she always gives her best effort, making her a true role model for her peers. Congratulations, Farrah.
Start over here.
Our next recognition is from LES, and it's Grayson Gill. Grayson's a 3rd grader at LES and is a student who consistently exceeds all expectations in the classroom. He completes all of his assignments on time and always puts forth his best effort no matter what he's doing. He's always respectful and kind to his teachers and classmates, creating a positive and supportive classroom environment. Grayson not only completes his assignments, but he also challenges himself by asking for extra work to expand his knowledge. His strong work ethic and eagerness to learn make him a standout student and a role model for others at LES. Congratulations, Grayson. Our next student is from Pink Lip, and it's Olivia Stiles. Olivia is a second grader and is a wonderful example of what a student should be. If she's in the classroom, she's trying her best, working hard, and being kind to her teachers and classmates. She's always willing to lend a hand when we're cleaning up and goes above and beyond in math, reading, and writing. She's a great role model for everyone, and we're just so thankful to have Olivia as a student at Paint Lake. Congratulations, Olivia. So our middle school student is not here tonight, so we'll jump straight over to our high school student. Our high school recognition is Riley Murphy. Riley is a senior at GCHS who's one of the top students there. She's worked hard in the classroom and on the field to help create a culture of excellence. She's a part of the Jumpstart program and has the potential to earn 21 hours of dual credit. Thank you, Riley, for your dedication to GCHS. Congratulations on being Student of the Month.
All right, thank you all. Congratulations to all of you. We appreciate all your hard work. Item B is site-based decision-making minutes from all our schools in our district, and I trusted all my fellow board members that had an opportunity to go over those. Item C is audience comments. Do we not have any?
We have none, guys.
Item D is board member comments. Any board member have anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to say thank you to the principals who read the Christmas stories. Charlie Payne, I sat one day during the snow days and listened to all 5 of them. And had the best, I mean, here you had a little trouble with your panther.
My panther was a little bit.
Your little panther was just really nice. We got a big kick out of that. But that was a lot of fun, and thank you all for doing that. So I have a challenge. I think we need to do 2 weeks, and do 1 week with the principals and 1 week with the central office staff. Next time. Anyway, thank you all.
So I think our middle school staff member of the month is here.
Oh.
So let's do that if you don't care. Is that all right? So our middle school staff member of the month is Megan Simpson. Ms. Simpson began working at GMS as a special education educator in December. We're so grateful she joined our team as she has seamlessly supported students in their classes. She also stepped into the role of the GMS cross-country coach this past fall, and she's a great addition and support for our students and colleagues. We're grateful to have her as part of the Cougar family. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Next, item E is superintendent, and sir, I'll turn it over to you.
Before we jump into the goals, I wanted to take just a couple minutes to thank some people. First, I'd like to say thank you to the county and the city road crews who made it possible for us to get back into school faster than a lot of locations did. If they hadn't been diligent about what they were doing, we certainly could have been in a spot where we were missing additional days this week. So we're grateful for that. Also thankful for our, and appreciate our maintenance crew who started the Sunday that the first event happened, clearing our parking lots to make sure that it would be safe for any of our staff to be there and to be back in. And then also to our bus drivers and transportation department. When you have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning firing up a bus to make sure it's warm and ready to go. And then you're traversing some of the areas that were still a little bit iffy in some places. They did it with a lot of grace, and we appreciate that. The Director of Transportation even told me on Tuesday morning that it might have been the best morning we've ever had, and he'd take mornings like that all the time. And if you'll remember how cold it was and things like that. So that's kudos to them. So I just wanted to make sure we said thank you to them for making that happen, for us being back in school this week. Also appreciate our parents who supported the NTI days last week. 3 of those back to back get to be challenging for students and not easy for parents as well. And so we certainly want to say thank you to them for making that happen. And hopefully we don't have a whole bunch more of those, but once I bring that up, we'll probably have a whole bunch more of those. So, but we'll move on from there. We're going to share some goal updates today, and that will be around the area of iReady and our unit assessments. Ms. Young's going to come and answer any questions that you might have. She'll share some information first with you. We shared this document with you last week, so you've had a chance to see that. I've pulled up on the screen for people to see at home the comparison between last year's data and this year's data at the winter point. So I'll turn this over to Ms. Young.
Okay, so great news. And we'll start with math, looking at what we presented last winter, 2023. We were happy that we were the top half of the chart there, which shows high growth. And we were hoping to slide to the right, and you will see that we have done that. And so the dots represent each of our schools, and so you can see that we are shifting over. And what that means is we are now considered high performing. So not just, we're very happy that our kids are growing, but it's also nice to see that they're high performing, which means that we are on grade level. And that's our goal, is to have our kids on grade level. Looking down at reading, you will see the same. We were in the top part, so we were high growth, but we hadn't started shifting over to the high performance, and you will see that we are doing that. At the school level, they can look at each grade level individually to see how our kids are doing. It's been great to see our kids who went through COVID, and we always hear about our COVID years. We see them at where we were performing pre-COVID, which is great to see. So we're making those gains, and that is very encouraging from all the hard work that everybody's putting in. So, any questions about iReady?
Proud of the work that everyone's doing to have these results. So thank you.
Me too.
Thank you, schools and teachers and stuff.
So the other assessments, we have common unit assessments that I think we talked to you about last year or even the year before. We were starting to build them. So these are assessments built by our teachers based on the Kentucky academic standards. So iReady is standardized norm. We get a national norm from iReady. This is more of just about Kentucky standards. So how are our kids performing? It relates really well also to the KSA for state accountability. And so just making sure that we are completely aligned. So what the kids are having every day in the classroom is aligned to the Kentucky academic standards. So we now have assessments to monitor. We've talked earlier about daily formative assessments. This is on a larger scale, so more of a summative assessment that we have built units around. Teachers and principals work together during PLCs to analyze that data so we can see who is doing well, who's not. Are there types of questions that the kids are not performing well on? Because there's multiple choice, there are multiple select, open-ended, so written responses. And so we can really dive in and see, is it a standard? Is it a target that the kids haven't mastered? Is it a type of questioning? So it's a test-taking strategy. Is it in math? We see their computation is great, but if it's a word problem, they're having trouble figuring out the strategy. So it gives us a lot of information on our students and their success or struggles, and we can then tailor instruction based on those needs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful news.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Next is construction update, and you'll notice that our construction crew is not here, and that is because Trace Creek is no longer on site. They're still monitoring what's going on. If they need to be back on site, they will be. All of the trailers are off property now. All temporary fencing is gone. So we're working our way back into being a regular school. Now, there's still items that need to be taken care of. We don't have substantial completion yet, which means warranties haven't kicked in. So that's good. Once they kick in, they'll be good for 12 months. So we don't want those to kick in just yet. So that's what's continuing to happen. There's still some signage that needs to go in out of the high school. We're waiting on that. There's some other items that are still to be taken care of. And the Trace Creek will continue to monitor that during the time until we reach that substantial completion. So what we're going to do in place of that now is we're going to shift back to sharing the bonding capacity that you have. So Kelly Mersick will continue to send us these updates on a regular basis. I've pulled that up on the screen for everybody to see. Our bonding capacity is based on our average daily attendance. And so it's important for our students to be present. That's also then important on membership layers. So the more members that we have and the higher our attendance is, the higher your bonding capacity. So if you look at this, you'll see bonding capacity that ranges anywhere from 12.3 million up to a little over 15 million. And that's what the current status is right now, based on a 20-year bond. And based on rates as those are shared. So if you'll remember, as we led into the project, you were having monthly updates about where we were with that. We'll continue to do that as we work through this. We are still waiting, in case there's a question about this, to find out if we have the final approval on the funds that the state allocated for us last year. We have gone through an audit and we're waiting for that feedback. Once we hear whether or not we're going to be approved for that, then we would come back and meet with Kelly and Garrard and talk about what our bonding capacity is and see if those two pieces can go together, and the consideration then of coming back to you all and asking about the idea of a gym at the high school. So all of that is still a possibility, but we don't have answers that allow us to move forward just yet. So as we get more answers, we'll share that with you. So happy to take any questions that you might have about that. All right. And then the final piece of mine is personnel changes since December. Those are connected for you. There are very few changes that have occurred. So this is just an update for you each month.
Thank you, sir. Item 3 is reports, and of course our treasurer's report, and each one of us has had access to the treasurer's report. Item B is bills as presented, which we get those weekly.
Yeah, and you've had those, and we have now linked the total for the month as of today. We attach these at the last minute to make sure you have all the information you possibly can.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Sir.
All right, that brings us to item 4, which is the consent agenda. And unless any board member wants to pull anything out, I'll entertain a motion to adopt it as it is printed.
I'll make a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Okay, Mr. Smith made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Hurd seconded. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. One board member had to step out, so it's 4, and Dr. Lamb had to step out for a little bit, so 4 voted yes. Which brings us to item 5, the action agenda, and item A is to approve pay applications for the high school athletic fields and facilities.
So you have in front of you a pay application for this month, and you'll see the amount there is a little over $1 million with Trace Creek numbers down to $8,000. So we would recommend approval of those for the high school athletic fields and facilities.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the pay application for Garrard County High School student athletic fields and facilities.
Okay, Mr. Hurt made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Mr. Davis seconded. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. 4 board members present at this time voted yes. So item A is approved. Item B is to approve a change order for fencing.
So there's one section of fencing that was in the original plan. It was part of being value engineered out and was never placed back in. It's a small section that will complete the fencing to give total security to the high school. It is not to exceed $8,000. We don't have a final total, but if we can go ahead and approve this, this would allow us to move forward with that final piece. It is appropriate and it is necessary, so it would be my recommendation that you approve this change order for fencing at the high school.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the change order for fencing.
Mr. Garrard made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, let me know by.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
So contingency funds.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, well, yes, ma'am.
Contingency.
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions? We ready? All in favor, let me know by lifting the hand. All board members were in favor. Item B is approved. Item C is to approve the BG5 for the paint project.
So it's for the
I mean,
Lancaster,
Lancaster Elementary.
for the Lancaster project,
I'm
and that's okay. This has been finished for quite some time, but because we did it as a BG1, we have to close the project as a BG5. Total project cost was $51,150, which has already been encumbered and paid. We just need your approval on this, so it's my recommendation that you approve the BG5 for the LES paint project.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the PG5 for LES budget.
Ms. Davis made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurd seconded. All in favor, let me know by lifting the hand. Thank you. Item D is to approve a calendar amendment for snow day makeup.
So last Friday was a snow day and not an NTI day. And we've had some conversation with our principals about how it would be best to make this up. You all approved one makeup for us already. If you'll remember, we had a weather day on September the 27th, and last month you approved us making that up on May 20th. We'd now like to ask you to approve making up the January 10th day on February the 17th. That was a holiday for both students and staff. If we make it up on that day, we are back on par with everything. You have a calendar in front of you. We have it posted right now for people to take a look at it. So really what you're looking at are the 2 red days are the days that we lost instruction, and I guess the little bit brighter greens are the days that we're attempting to make those up. May 20th, you've already approved. We're now asking for February the 17th. That does keep alive March the 14th if we needed to make that up, or May the 23rd if we needed to do that at some point in time. So we're trying to do it sequentially as we go through. So it'd be my recommendation at this point that you approve the calendar amendment for Snow Makeup Day for Monday, February the 17th, 2025.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the calendar amendment.
Thank you. Dr. Lamb made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Ms. Davis seconded. Any questions? All in favor, let me know by lifting the hand. All board members were in favor, which brings us to item E, to approve the draft budget for the 25-26 school year.
In January of every year, we have to come to you and ask for your approval of the draft budget for the 25-26 school year. At this point, we've done nothing to change the budget, so the budget that's in front of you is identical to the current budget. Between now and May, we will make the revisions and adjustments, add-ins, removals, things of that nature. So this is not a change in any way. It's just us checking the box that we need to check that we have approved the draft budget for 25-26. Again, assuring you it will not be the same when we get to May. So based on that, and again, happy to take any questions you might have, be my recommendation that you approve the draft budget for the 25-26 school year.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the draft budget for 25-26.
Okay, Mr. Smith made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurd seconded. Anybody have any questions about the draft budget? All in favor, let me know by lifting the hand. All board members were in favor. Item E is approved. Item F is to approve a memorandum of understanding with Kentucky School for the Deaf.
We occasionally have students from KSD who come to the ATC, more likely than anything else. And there's a lengthy process that's in place to get a memorandum of agreement in place. So KDE has created a memorandum of understanding or a memorandum of agreement. I know it's understanding in this case, where we would just have a static agreement that says if there's a student from KSD who can enroll at the ATC here in Garrard County, that we're good with that. So it just makes the process a little bit easier. And because of that, I would recommend approval of the MOU with KSD.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I move we approve the MOU with KSD.
And Ms. Davis made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurt seconded. Y'all, anybody have any questions? All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. All board members were in favor, which brings us to item G, to approve a board meeting change for February to Tuesday, February the 18th.
The February 20th meeting, which you had approved, ends up being stacked right next to the KSBA conference. Most of you as board members go up on Thursday night. This would make it impossible for you to do that. Most of you have to be there on Friday morning for coursework. So to make it a little bit easier, the suggestion has been made that we move that meeting from Thursday, February 20th to Tuesday, February the 18th. And that would be my recommendation, that you approve that change of the February board meeting to Tuesday, February the 18th.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting change in February.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Smith made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Lamb seconded. Any questions? All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. Ms. Davis? Oh, okay. I didn't see your hand go up. All board members were in favor. So item G is approved, which brings us to item 6.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
You've heard the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurt made the second. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. Thank you very much. We are adjourned. And it is not even 6:30.